I finally made it to the point of being a real welder. Precautions here. So, I've only welded a small number of times in my entire life. Electrical MIG welder. Hey everyone, I'm Chucky2009. And you know, over the years I've made a lot of videos, I've promoted a bunch of welders, I've reviewed a bunch of welders, and one thing I haven't done is the cheapest MIG welder on Amazon. So this thing cost $88.99 shipped to my door. I don't know how current that'll be whenever you might find this video or whatever, but as you can see, this is sold by Best Choice Products, which is important because if I bought anything else on Amazon, it wouldn't have been the best choice, and that's really something I look for. Yeah, $88.99 frickin' cents. So recently, right before we were filming this video, I filmed a video on the cheapest stick welder on Amazon. I really, that one cost $114. I'm really going into this and knowing the specs on these machines and the layout of them even before I opened this box, because I checked it out on the listing. I really think the stick welder between the two of them is going to be the superior machine. It's got like infinite essentially power adjustment on the front of it, whereas this has taps and everything. And the other thing, this is what I tell everyone, if you're going to buy, let's just call it what it is, the cheapest welder you can get your hands on, it's really, my best advice is to buy a stick machine, because it's basically just a power source. This being a wire feed welder, it has a bunch of moving parts and stuff in it. It's a lot more to go wrong. But all right, so let's see. They give you this wonderful little wire brush slash hammer thing. So that's good. We also have a handle to the obligatory Chinese face mask, which is sort of a running joke in the welding world. Yep, it's in here. Of course it is. All right. Yeah. So needless to say, I'm not affiliated with Best Choice Products. I bought this with my very own $88 so I could make this video for you guys. But if anybody actually does, for any reason, decide they should buy this thing, or you buy anything else on Amazon, if you click the link in the description, channel earns a small commission, which helps make non-sponsored content like this possible for you guys. So I'm just going to take a moment and assemble this fine piece of safety gear. I think this thing's just so wonderful. I think I'm actually going to get rid of my op trails and just use this from now on. Oh boy. The lens fell out. Oh boy. It's funny when it makes me laugh like a dolphin. All right, let's see. There's not even like a clear lens or anything. Literally just literally just the dark lens, and it goes in like such. So I mean, I'm actually going to try and weld with it like this, because this is clearly the way the manufacturer intended their product to be used. So we'll give that a shot. All jokes aside, I am actually kind of surprised that comes with it, because ultimately that did cost someone somewhere money. Maybe only 50 cents or something, but still. All right. Okay. All right. All right, we can retire the Fronius, because we have, actually there's not even a name on it. Yeah, there isn't. It just says MIG 130. Okay, so two things. First off, this is not a MIG welder. I know it says it. I know I joked about it before. I know that all the other listings on Amazon for similar cheaper machines say it as well. But here's how this works. MIG, the acronym MIG, it stands for metal inert gas. In the UK or whatever, it's called MAG, or metal add gas. There is no gas. There's no gas port on this. There's no regulator that comes with it. There is no hose. This is only a flux core welder. Where'd my spool go? Yeah, this is only a flux core welder. So it's not going to be good for sheet metal. I would not recommend this if you're going to be, trying to patch body panels on your truck or your Jeep or your car or your motorcycle or whatever. The other thing that this has going against it, where the heck is the power cord? I guess it comes out though. Yeah, appears to come out the front or something. The other downside to this is it's only 110 volt power. So on a wire feed machine like this, optimistically, we're going to be able to weld like 1/8 inch, and that's really going to be pushing it, and you're going to run into issues with this like tripping breakers and everything. This is why if someone was on an extreme budget, I'd really push them towards that budget stick welder, because that was a 220 machine, so that's actually capable of, like, you know, putting out real power. But you know what, if it works, it works. Now how the heck do we open, oh, the thingamajigger, oh. All right, we're in. Okay, so let's see what we have up here. They give you 2 tips, which is nice. These should be the standard, like I think these are M8 thread or something, so a person should be able to get replacements at, you know, like Home Depot or whatever. And this is my personal favorite. They give you a fuse, like a literal glass, something you'd find in a 1980s house fuse. And oh wait, there's 2 fuses, even better, plus this, which goes on here. Now here's another strike against this machine. If we put this down, you can see the version of a faceplate you get with this machine talks about duty cycle. Duty cycles, most of you guys know, is the percentage out of 10 minutes that a machine can weld without overheating. That's not sitting there running with the fan, that's actually having the art going, welding. So if a machine has a 60% duty cycle, that means it can run for 6 out of 10 minutes at whatever amperage it's rated at. This machine has a 10% duty cycle. Literally 1 out of 10 minutes you can weld with this machine without it overheating. Now this is of course maxed out on a mind-blowing 120 amps, which it probably won't get to off your standard 110 volt wall outlet. So you know, if you turn it down to 60 amps for welding together like something about twice the thickness of a razor blade, thinking about my TIG experience, maybe some exhaust pipe if you're lucky, you have a 35% duty cycle. So you can keep the arc lit for 3.5 out of 10 minutes. While putting out enough power to, if you're lucky, join some paper clips together. All right, let's see. We are going to try to installify. And since you guys didn't ask, I'll tell you anyway. In my opinion, the Lincoln flux core wire is vastly superior to the Hobart stuff, which I can't really talk too much because obviously we didn't try it, but I'm told that too is better than the stuff that's, oh, get on there. Why does this frickin' fit? All right, you know what? That's probably not going too far. All right, let's see. I'll just trim this. Man, if the machine just blows up, I'm gonna have an issue getting my 11 bucks back for this spool. All right, cool. Oh boy. So, I've only welded a small number of times in my entire life, so I thought I would go ahead and consult this wonderful manual here. All right, let's see. This one actually doesn't look as bad as some of the Chinglish ones I've ever seen. All right, so first off, we'll make sure that we're welding in a safe way by following the precautions here. All right, let's see. Do not strike an arc on or near the gas cylinder. All right, that shouldn't be a problem because this doesn't actually use a gas cylinder. All right, let's see. Setting up the welder. Electrical. Your MIG welder must be earthed. I'm going to grab a shovel and earth this welder. It's funny that they keep referring to it as a MIG welder when, you know, obviously there's no gas, so there's no I in MIG, so it's a MIG welder. So my favorite part of this wonderful manual is the troubleshooting section. They don't actually connect the problems to the causes. All they do is give you a random list of problems you might have in a random list of causes. But all joking aside, guys, like I said, $88 or whatever gets you this wonderful machine. All right, where'd that extension cord go? Great risk to myself to make these second-rate videos for you guys. I will plug this thing in. And now to start feeding the wire, most of you guys are pretty familiar with this process. All we do, we remove the tip and the nozzle off of our MIG gun. Then we fire this thing up. Hey, it's alive. All right, and we turn our wire feed all the way up, and this knob actually does feel quite good. I thought it was just going to be loose and floppy, but it actually feels really tight and smooth, which is good. Let's see, and we will feed wire out the end of this. All right, we got our wire. It's making some extremely odd noises. We'll just screw this tip back on. And, all right, okay. We should try not to set this down because I remember one of the quirks of these I read somewhere on the internet once is they're always hot. It's just like a stick lead with an electrode in it. Anytime we touch this, here, look away. Anytime we touch this, it is going to arc to the table until we burn away our wire. So, all right. This is moving on before we actually start welding. This is one of my main complaints about this unit. How the heck, wait a minute, there's not, oh wait, yeah, I did put the ground clamp on, never mind. One of my main complaints about this unit is there's really no infinitely adjustable voltage controls. This is something you only see on the cheapest of the cheap machines. Even that $114 stick welder had infinitely adjustable controls. Obviously, only one control instead of two here. So this, you have minimum, maximum, and then 1 and 2. What the? Okay, that's a concerning noise. All right, well, whatever the case, we'll just set this like in the middle because there's no references for what this will actually. What the setting. I don't even have a safe place to put this right now. All right, let's see. Let's get ready to weld here. I finally made it to the point of being a real welder. Well, son of a gun, it actually does weld. I think this is an AC machine. It's got that AC buzzing sound to it. Like you'd hear on an AC 225 cracker box or something, which is extremely uncommon for, again, even the cheapest of the cheap normal wire drawers. But like I said, $88.99. This lens is way too light though for actual welding. It looks like it's maybe like a shade 7 or 8 or something. So, as wonderful as that was, and as much as I look like an amateur wearing an actual helmet in comparison, I'm going to wear an actual helmet. All right, now let's see what we did. Now keep in mind, this is just middle of the road settings here. Oh wait, oh shoot, I should have used the actual thingamajigger. And it did produce an actual weld. Now keep in mind, this is self-shielded flux core wire, so it's not like, when we hear about flux core used to weld together railroad cars or industrial equipment. Really, it's like dual shield flux core, so there's gas as well, and it's a completely different wire, nothing like this. I'm just not a fan of this stuff per se, but it actually did produce a somewhat respectable looking weld for $88.99. If I bought a large spool of flux core wire at the store, it would approximately double the cost of my welding setup. So, for a little 110 volt machine, that actually had quite a bit of bite to it. It felt like it was burning into the material a lot more than I was really expecting it to. But that's what you get when you make the best choice in welders. All right, let's try this again. Watch your eyes. I think we tripped a breaker. This is going to be your eternal battle running a 110 volt welder. This is why I prefer not to run 110 volt welders. And the other thing is, when I'm reviewing a machine or I'm filming a promotional video for a machine, it's dual voltage, which is a thing, so it'll run on 110 or 220. So if you're watching this saying, oh, well, I don't have 220 yet, you can spend more money and get what's called a dual voltage machine. Like I said, it'll run on either voltage. So you can use it now on 110 and just deal with struggles like this. And then when you get proper power, you have full power and you won't be tripping breakers constantly. The reason why I don't, and this is relevant for you guys, the reason why I don't film stuff on 110 when it's a dual voltage machine, or when I do, I don't give specifics, is because what I can do in this garage on this circuit on 110 volt power, it might be more than somebody with a crappier electrical setup could do on 110 volt power. But on the flip side, if someone has a better 110 volt power setup in like a dedicated 15, 20 amp breaker or something, they can obviously do a lot more than I can. So really it just depends, and that's the downside of reviewing a machine like this is what it'll do for me, it might not do for you. It just comes down to the power setup that you have. All right, to the breaker box. Yep, there goes the breaker again. All right, well, we welded enough for right now anyway. I don't know, like I said, I would get the stick welder, but obviously, you know, here's the other thing, not to keep harping about how great the stick machine is, but, you know, the limitation with that is you can't weld thin material. Like anything under 1/8 inch basically is going to be a battle for most people. But with the stick machine, you can set up a TIG torch, you know, and run scratch start TIG. You can search out, I've even made some videos on it, and be able to weld thinner material and thicker material. This can only do like intermediate thickness, like 14 gauge to basically 1/8 inch. And it kind of even struggles with that in some ways. But like I said, it actually does frickin' work. So, all right, for whatever it's worth, thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more. It's just, it is what it is, man. I don't have anything else to add. I could just show you what it is and what it did. And it actually did work. Clearly because it is the best choice.